Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. I'm super excited. We're going to have a great show for you guys today. Before we get started with everything, let's say hi to our cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Well, I'm not very cool. It's 120 out. Could be 121 today, a record breaker. All week long, it's going to be in the triple digits. It seems that some sort of a heat wave has come from another planet and it's hit this planet, and it's causing a huge hurricane out in the Gulf, and tons of rain going towards the East Coast, and it's going to be just dreadful weather ahead for everybody. Tremendous amount of heat. New York could be 104, 103. I mean, the world is really going to go on fire. So they talk about global warming. I mean, maybe there is something to global warming. I'm not a scientist. I don't know. But all I know is when I lived in Palm Springs 21 years ago, we had this kind of weather, but in August, not the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Now we got it in April, which
June.
is outrageous. New York City was freezing when we got there. It was 38 degrees. I got very sick. I had a cold from it. And that was inclement weather for the Memorial Day weekend. So, you know, we're having a lot of trouble with our weather here. The planets are just, I don't know. Listen, I have no idea.
So let me say hi to everybody.
Say hi to everybody.
All right, what's up, chat room? Hope everything is going good. And we want to welcome into the chat room. Angela Joseph is in the chat room. She's in Colorado. She says it's 101.
In Colorado. See, the world is
Teresa
warming up.
Saban is in Florida. Lady Lake is in Florida. Hey, Cindy, thanks for putting out the promos.
Teresa, what's the temperature in Florida?
Yeah, what's the temperature in Florida? We got football star Boomer Mays in the chat room. We have a newcomer, Jennifer Goodman, and we are doing, Angela Joseph and I are working on a film with her. It's called The Curse. She's got a great team and a great film. It's going to be the greatest horror film ever.
No, it's not, because I'm not in it. Nobody asked me.
And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Why didn't I get asked?
Because this cast is already closed before we even knew about it.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you, Angie, baby. Like I want to be in those crappy.
Oh, and Ryan Atkins. No, this isn't a crappy one. This is a good one.
Oh, now you really got me going.
So what's up? Brian Atkins joins us too. He's part of the team of Team The Curse, and it's going to be a great film. And we're going to be launching a Indiegogo campaign on the 25th. So it's going to be fun. You guys will be hearing a lot about it. It's 80 degrees in Florida.
That's all.
Backpack John is here. What's up, Backpack John? Artist Miss Kim. Hello, hello. How are you? You can't wait for the sexy men because we have got one really sexy one coming on, not including Ron. We have Ron, one sexy man, and then we have Adam Jacobs, another sexy man coming on as a guest.
Angie, baby, when I win the Academy Award for my movie with Lainie Kazan, you're going to beg for me, and I'm going to say, excuse me, do I remember you? Who are you? Oh, I remember you. Your name was Angelina, wasn't it? Didn't I have a nickname for you? Wasn't that nickname? You didn't hire me nickname?
Anyway,
Angie, big tits, Julina, whatever the hell your name is. Not Angie Jolie.
I don't know. Did I say Backpack John too? He joined us. So
I'm not
people are
jumping
jumping
to
in.
Angie baby anymore.
Oh, of course you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Anyway.
No, I'm not. Not speaking to her anymore. I'm paying back for my invitation.
What invitation?
Not invitation. When you meet somebody, what is that called? I just had
introduction.
I just had a brain tumor pass through my brain.
Oh, Artist Miss Kim says it's 75 in Boston today.
Oh, Boston 75. Chilly Willy could wear fur.
Angela says yes, you will, but you know the last crappy clowning around.
She got that zinger
in there.
But I'm going to win an Academy Award for Clown Motel 2. I'm going to win an Academy Award because Joseph Kelly said I was outstanding.
There you go. So, but you guys, for real, go on to Facebook and type in the Curse film fan page and like the page because we're launching it. It's going to be a lot of fun. The film's got some great talent attached to it. Rebecca Kennedy, R.J. Mitt, Enrico Colantoni, who's my favorite because he's from Veronica Mars, the greatest TV show ever to be on television. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So today, you guys, we have Grammy nominee Adam Jacobs coming on. You know him as the original Aladdin on Broadway. He's in all kinds of great Disney things. He's got a new film coming out in 2 weeks called Last Call in the Doghouse. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then we have writer-director Bruce Reisman. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And
Jimmy, how could you not pronounce Reisman? Riceman?
no, Reisman. It might be Reisman.
Reisman.
I don't know.
It depends. If he's Jewish, it's pronounced one way. If he's German, it's pronounced another. I believe if he's German, it's pronounced Reis. Well, let me see. No, Yiddish. Anyway, we figure it out.
On Instagram too, it's the Curse Movie. It's going to be fun. So anyway, he's a great, really cool guy. I've had several phone conversations with him. He's got a really cool way to watch films. He's got his own like platform to rent, buy, or stream films. He's got a couple of great films that are out and a brand new one coming out in 2 weeks that happens to also have Adam Jacobs, our first guest, in it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And he's a man from like classic Hollywood like Ron. So I think they're going to have a good time.
Yeah, we'll probably know half of the people in Hollywood, they're all gone now.
And we want to give a thanks to Sue Wong. We went to a great party at her house on Friday night. It's at the Cedars, home of like Johnny Depp and the Rolling Stones and like all these like Jimi Hendrix and all these fabulous people.
Them? It was the home of Howard Hughes. I mean, come on.
And Howard Hughes,
the richest man in the world at one time.
It's
magnificent home, fabulous party. The band played on, we danced, the booze flowed, the food was great, the desserts were outrageous. Sue Wong looked stunning. Everybody there was dressed rock and roll, which was fun. And it went on till 3 a.m. Jimmy and I left at what, 11:30?
No, 1.
Oh, 1 we left.
We got home at 3:30 in the morning.
Right. So we had a great time. And Sue Wong can throw a party. Let me tell you, she throws parties like they did years ago. She could be, one of the great Gatsby people.
And we had such a good time. We saw Sherry Belafonte, who we haven't seen in a while.
I haven't seen in a long time, and she was so happy to see me.
And her husband, Sam Behrens, which you guys know him from General Hospital, and he was also in that movie Alive about the plane that crashed and they had ate each other. He's in that film. And Ron Moss and Devin DeVasquez, our guests from 2 weeks ago, were there.
And I spent the whole evening sitting on the sofa talking with Devin because I'm crazy about her. She's one of the sweetest, nicest, most down-to-earth, dearest people you want to meet, considering, who she is and what she's done and who she's married to. Usually people like that have a stick up their ass and they think who they are, a pole up their ass, rather. And they think who they are, but she doesn't. Neither does her husband, Ron Moss. 2 down-to-earth, delightful, new friends of ours. We love them. In fact, we're going to a birthday party next week.
Yes, we are.
And I can't wait.
I forgot somebody's name that we met. I'm looking it up real quick because I don't want to say it wrong.
Who?
So we also met Franklin Vanderbilt, you guys, the coolest guy ever. Big, badass drummer, and he's the drummer for Lenny Kravitz.
Right. Everybody, Pink Floyd people were there, Led Zeppelin, they played. It was just a rock and roll evening. I danced, which was wonderful. I didn't think I would be able to dance yet, but I danced. And just Sue Wong, what can I tell you? She's just super duper. I think she's extraterrestrial. I don't think she's really from this planet. I think she's from another planet, and she's one of the Martians disguised as a human. Because everything she does, from designing clothing to homes to food, the woman is super genius. It's not possible that any human can do all that she does as beautifully and as perfectly as she does.
She was fabulous.
Yeah, she definitely is extraterrestrial.
We also want to give a shout out. Don Hinton just joined us. Hey, Don. Hope everything is going well with all the things you got going on, and we're happy to see you here. Do you have what watch do you have on today?
Oh,
she likes watches.
I have my health watch on.
Fitbit,
checking my temperature and my heartbeat and my other, making sure I'm alive.
And Angela Joseph put aliens all in the chat room.
No. She's not doing anything to me anymore because I'm hurt, wounded, destroyed, devastated. And I want to tell you something, Angie, baby. I got about 6 or 7 major movies coming up. So there you go, baby. There you go.
She didn't have anything to do with the casting, by the way.
I don't care, but she could have thrown my name in. After all, we've been lovers for how many years, Angie, baby? And I've been swinging her from her balloons forever.
That's fucking hilarious.
Angie, I love you. I'm only kidding, and you know that, sweetie pie. I wouldn't be in your movie if you paid me. Well, normally, what, $200 a day? That's not pay. But anyway, no, seriously, I'm saving my talent for Joseph Kelly's Clown Motel 38.
Oh, B. Claudia just joined us.
B, how you feeling,
B's
baby?
in Germany, everybody.
She was under the weather. She wasn't feeling good.
That's hilarious. Hey, B, I hope you're feeling better. And
Yeah, I hope you're
it's
sobered
nice
up.
to see you, everybody. B's in Germany. So everybody say hi to B. She says we're looking great. And Angie says she likes your shirt, which is a vintage Jimmy Star.
I'll sell it. You don't sell your own product because you sound narcissistic, you dummy belly. This is a Jimmy Star retro shirt. It's old. It's one of his early collections, and I love it because it's all cars. Automobiles are on it, and I'm a car freak, as you know. And it's got beautiful little sport cars on the sleeves and on the pocket. And it's a mattress stripe, blue and white. It's a beautiful shirt. I love this shirt, and I will wear it always.
They say you have beautiful color. All your colors back.
Well, yeah, you know, with the help of a little blush.
And time.
No, my color came back. I'm teasing.
No, now Hub Reynolds Jr. also
you know why?
Joined us.
I was out gardening. When I go out in the sun, I first turn pink, then I go brown. But the first thing I get is pinkness and then brownness. Tomorrow I'll be brown.
Angela says that the writer is Jennifer is in the chat room, so pitch yourself, laugh out loud. And Hub Reynolds just joined us.
Hub,
what's up?
Where have you been? I mean, you're on my Facebook page, but we haven't heard from you in ages.
No, he was here like 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, but what's going on with the new house? He's still doing it or whatever? What's
beautiful.
Happening? He's still in the house. Meanwhile, the girlfriend's gone, the engagement one, you know, find another one. You're a good-looking guy. No, there's so many girls out there that would throw their legs up in a minute for him. He's handsome and sexy and butch-looking and a cowboy. So if any of you girls out there have a butch cowboy fantasy, contact Hub.
All right, so now we're going to go ahead and bring in our first guest.
First guest.
First guest.
First guest.
Hey! Oh my God! Look at those teeth! Oh my God, they're so beautiful.
Yeah, you know what? I used to have teeth like that too. Then they fell out. But so Aladdin, can you rub your magic lamp for me?
Oh yeah, sure. No, it's in the other room. Sorry.
You're one good-looking guy, straight or gay?
That's not appropriate to ask somebody, but I am straight.
Okay. I asked.
Oh, our show's not appropriate.
No, and I ask it because I'm gay. If I was straight, I would never ask such a question. But anyway, no.
But he's got a daughter for you. No, hold on. We have to do our regular introductions. All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome the incredibly talented actor, Broadway superstar, phenomenal singer, Grammy nominee, Adam Jacobs. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing, boys? I'm glad to be here.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad you're here. We're going to have some fun.
Before we get started, let me introduce you to everybody, starting off with my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. RonRussell.
Like he needs to introduce me.
He doesn't know you.
Everybody knows me.
I know.
You could go in Macy's bathroom and look on the wall.
Just anyway,
my
keep
phone
it
number,
clean.
my phone number's there. I do jokes, by the way. Aladdin. The first question I'm going to ask.
No, we're not asking questions yet. Go say hello, and then I'm going to. He's got a chat.
Would you like to put your?
We're married. We're married, and so we fight a lot. It's normal. People love it.
Would you like to put your?
No. Anyway, we got a chat room full of people. First of all, we have Canada, Germany, England. I don't know, the United States, a whole bunch of people. So say hi to everybody in the chat room because they were all writing, "Oh my God, how good looking he is," and everything. So,
and over 5 million people will hear, see, or somehow get in
watch this by the end of
this show. So if you want to take off your shirt and do some chest things and look sexy.
What a great smile, though. So first off,
if you had those teeth, if you bought those teeth where he bought them, your teeth would be just as nice.
So first thing I want to say is, because I mean, obviously I knew who you were because I'm actually a big Broadway person and I love Broadway things.
Me too, but unfortunately we don't have Broadway in Palm Springs.
Yeah, we're in Palm Springs. But I want to say, number one.
So I never saw Aladdin.
Okay.
Shut up for a minute. I'm in the middle of interrupting you.
No, I know. So first of all, I want to tell everybody that they need to go out and get your album, Right Where I Belong. And the reason they have to get it is because my absolute favorite song of all time from any Disney film is out there in Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, nice.
And you did a cover of it. I downloaded it. I downloaded and listened to it like 100 times in a row. It's so beautiful. The whole album is fantastic, but Out There is like one of my favorite songs. So everybody has to. There's another movie from Anastasia, but it's not Disney that did Anastasia. But those are my two favorite songs. You killed it. Your voice is beautiful, and I want to congratulate you on that before Ron takes over the conversation and like says something. So congratulations, it's fabulous.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I think I'm divorcing this one. Listen, made me forget my intelligent question that I was going to ask.
Then I'll go in and say.
Unlike your stupid question.
So it wasn't a question.
Here's the question. I wanted to make a statement. We are not allowed to play your music, so don't think we don't want to. I would love to. Years ago, we could play you and people could hear you. But now they send us all kinds of things saying you're not allowed.
Because we're live on YouTube. As soon as you start to play it, I don't know if you know who John B is, but John B is like a pretty popular, like from the '90s R&B guy. And he had a new song and we played it, and YouTube shut us down in the middle of the show.
So unfortunately,
so you're not allowed to play the music anymore unless you pre-record the show and put it up. And since we're live, we're not allowed to play it. But we're going to send everybody though to go listen to it and buy it and download it and stream it.
Yeah, because it's sad that you have a great song and you came on
great album,
album song, and we came. I mean, I still am with the Sound of Music.
So everybody,
Sun Roses.
So everybody, so in case anybody who's not super familiar with who Adam is, he's the original Aladdin on Broadway. He was also in Les Mis. He was Simba in The Lion King. He was in Mamma Mia, and basically like, so how long ago was that when you did Aladdin? Because you still look like super young to me.
Oh, thank you. That opened on Broadway in 2014, but the first initial readings and the development started back in 2010. So that was, it was a whole like almost 7-year journey with that show.
Oh my God! And were you super like excited to get it? Like how hard was it to get it?
What do you think?
Of course I was. Also because it was a movie and a film that I watched as a kid, and I looked up to Aladdin, because he was this little brown boy. Him and Mowgli were like the two.
Yeah, him and Mowgli. Yep,
now,
absolutely.
I think you and I may share a common friend, a very dear friend of mine. Her name is Fran Bazar.
Do you know Fran Bazar?
I don't believe so.
Oh, okay. She's produced a lot of Broadway, and she won what is it, the Broadway?
She won a Tony for Memphis.
For Memphis.
Oh, okay. Yes. Right.
So you should run into her and know her. She's very nice to know.
Yeah, we'll introduce you.
And she's a darling person. You're going to love her. She's a sweetie pie. So anyway, listen, you're married. You got a girlfriend. You just tramp around. What's your life?
Right now, I'm a father right now. I've got twins.
You're married.
And they're adorable, you guys.
Lucky you.
And if you guys want to see him,
wait, twin what?
Girls. Twin boys.
Oh,
so,
boys?
A lot of boys. Yeah, 2 boys.
I hope they come out as handsome as you. Right? They should take after the old man. As a mother, good looking?
Beautiful. She's gorgeous.
Who's the mother? Is she famous?
She's not famous, but she's been on Broadway and
she's a working girl. Yeah, we like that.
Actually, you guys, if you follow at Adam Jacobs NYC on Twitter and Instagram, then you can see his family, because I saw them this morning on his Instagram
how old
page.
Are the kids, the twins?
They're little. I don't know.
They just born?
Well, they were born first day of rehearsal for Aladdin on Broadway.
So they're like 7.
Exactly. They're 7.
Like 7.
That was good luck. Kids.
That was.
Actually, on the chat room, they're saying what a gorgeous family you have. So they're already going to your Instagram.
So they saw it. I haven't seen it. I'll see you there. You live in New York or LA? New York.
No. I was in New York for a long time, and now I'm actually based in Chicago. That's where I'm right now.
Oh, cool.
Why Chicago?
Well, it's a great theater town. It's actually close to my wife's family. They're all from Wisconsin, so I can do work here. I fly to New York. I fly to LA. You can be anywhere now.
Yeah, but what about January?
January gets a little cold. You take a vacation. I'm from California, so I'm from the San Francisco Bay Area. But I told her, when we moved here, I said, as long as we can get out at least a week or so in the when it's in the deep freeze, then I'm good.
When I did stand up years ago, they sent our show to a club in Chicago in February, and I asked the guy why February. He said, "Well, because you're not good enough for June and July." So they sent all the not so great talented people to Chicago in February.
So
I forgot the name of the club, but it was a drag show club. What the hell was it? Very famous at the time. This is going back 30 years ago, 40 years ago.
40 years ago.
You weren't even born.
Yeah, you weren't even born. So we have a supporter of the show, and she's in Germany, and her name is B. Claudia, and she just wrote in here. She wrote, "If you listen to his voice, light fills the room." So just give a shout out to B. Claudia because she loves it.
Thanks, B. Claudia. Thanks for that.
Now listen, the only thing we can get away with is if you want to go a cappella and give us a couple of lyrics from Aladdin, whatever you think you like the best.
Like Out There.
No, I mean he could sing.
I could sing Out There too. I guess out there among the millers and the weavers and their wives, through the roofs and gables I can see them. Every day they shout and scold and go about their lives, heedless of the gift it is to be them. If I were in their skin, I'd treasure every instant out there. How about that?
My God!
Oh my God! I'm so excited.
You can sing. You can sing. You can really sing.
Oh my! He is so good. I've been listening to him on Spotify for 2 days.
Now listen. You're Jewish, right?
My dad is Jewish, yeah, but I was raised like my mother, so.
Yeah, well, my father was Jewish. My mother was Catholic. So I'm a half-ass too. But that wonderful Jewish people are very talented, aren't we?
Yeah. and the Filipinos, I would argue, are just as talented, if not more, when it comes to the musical side of things.
Absolutely.
Right. So now, who pushed you, mom or dad?
My mom pushed me into piano early on, so I worked on my piano skills and the music side. And my dad, he was tone deaf sales guy. He was not really into the arts. So although it skipped a generation, his mom was a cabaret singer in Vegas. So it, got.
Wait, what was her name?
Stella. Her name was Stella Jacobs, and she was actually in. Tommy Dorsey wanted to bring her on the road, but she was 15, and her mom said, not going to happen. So
yeah, they did. My mother was silent movie actress Jenny Gabriel, and when her father found out that my grandmother was sneaking her in to make movies in the Astoria Studios, he went nuts, and that was the end of that career. Back then, if you were like 17 or 18, they didn't want you to become a putana or a whore, and that's what they thought all show people were. Now, I'm 81 years old, so I know a lot of people that your grandfather must know. And older people, I knew Ethel Merman. I knew all the greatest of Broadway.
Sure.
Angela Lansbury in Mame was outrageous, the most fabulous musical I ever saw.
Yeah.
As well as Julie Andrews. I mean, I saw Broadway when Broadway had superstars.
Sure.
Now, of course, we have Bernadette Peters. I know. Now we have stars.
Are you old enough to know those people?
Of course. Yes, I do know those.
He knows Broadway history. He's a star. I mean, he's a Broadway star. But there are so many today that don't get promoted as they did years ago.
Well, there's a lot more competition nowadays. With Ethel Merman, when it was back in the day, in the golden age, you could knock on the door of Sondheim and say, put me in this musical, and it's not really, you can't do that anymore.
Well, Mary Martin had a nice voice. I never knew that Angela Lansbury could carry a note. And in Mame, she was brilliant. I mean, I've seen all of the old wonderful Streetcar Named Desire. I mean, I've seen Broadway that when I think back, I get tears in my eyes. Unfortunately, Broadway doesn't have the material today it had years ago. Our material from in the 50s, the late 40s lives on forever. It's classical. Yeah. Today, a musical gets a tone and then it goes away. They're not preserving the history of Broadway today. Young people tend to think it's old, throw it away, we don't care about it. But remember one thing, if it wasn't for Ethel Merman, you wouldn't be on Broadway. Right. These people kept Broadway alive. Of course, a ticket, I remember standing room only for $3.50. imagine we could after school we would all go, you know, to an evening not a matinee, I mean evening thing for $3.50 and stand there. A ticket I think was about $12.50. Now a ticket is what, $350, $400?
Yeah, it's insane.
It really is insane.
So that's why Broadway is hurting, because the attendance can't be what it was years ago. When the tickets were cheap, the rooms were packed.
Do they still have, like, because when I got out of college, I went and saw a Chorus Line and Phantom and a bunch of different shows, and they had this little place. It was like a little booth on the street, and you could buy the tickets if the tickets didn't sell.
Ticketron.
Yeah.
No, they call it TKTS.
Yeah, TKTS.
Yeah, it was called Ticketron in my day. My first musical I ever saw was The King and I, and my friend was in it, Christopher Walken. He played one of the kids. So we came from the same neighborhood. We used to ride the train together, and I got a kick out of seeing Chris on the stage. And that's when I said, I want to do that too. And I got the bug.
So we actually, when we lived in Pennsylvania, because we're in Palm Springs now, but we lived in Pennsylvania, and we actually had somebody who was in one of the main girls in The Lion King. I forgot who it was, though. I was trying to find it, but I can't find it, from The Lion King, which is one of my favorite Disney films. And I actually saw it, but I didn't see it on Broadway. I saw it in like a touring, edition of it or whatever, which is cool. And you've done some of that, but the fact that you actually starred in a bunch of these things on Broadway, I mean, that's like so like killer. It's not even funny.
No, Adam has wonderful credits because he's in all A1 hit Tony winning musicals. You have to be good to keep that kind of job thing. They say, like, what have you done before? And when he belts out all that stuff, they say, okay, let's hear you sing. And then when he sings, they say, okay, let's hire you.
So let's go. Okay, so you've been.
Wait a minute. I want to ask you one question. Have the salaries on Broadway gone up? Because they used to be pathetic. Major stars would go to work for $500 a week. Could you believe that? Major names.
Yeah, no, and it hasn't been the easiest. It's never easy being an artist, and I've been fortunate to be. There's definitely a discrepancy between principal pay and ensemble pay. Like, I feel like that should be a little bit more even. Right. But in general, but yeah, I mean, the equity has been working hard. Actors Equity, the union, has been enforcing the minimum salaries and making sure that those are still good. But really, you have to be in New York to really earn. That's where you're going to earn the most is working there. It's kind of hard.
The sets are minimal. Years ago, sets were sets. I mean, they built movie sets on stage, and they had trickery. Things rolled out.
Yeah, but not in his sets.
No, but wait a minute. Things rolled out. Things came down. We had a visual. Chandeliers flew, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, sure. Well,
now with a $350 ticket, you would think they'd pay the performers more, because the minimal scenery and costumes is not what it was. In other words, Carol Burnett said she could never do her TV show today because the budget wouldn't allow it.
Yeah, sure. Well, Aladdin, you're lucky working with a producer like Disney, who has some deep pockets, and they can invest in these magnificent sets for shows like Aladdin, and the costumes, where each pants has 1,000 Swarovski crystals, real crystals in each set of pants. So, they're still doing it, but you have to have the budget for it, obviously.
I wish I could have seen Aladdin, because that's a musical I would have enjoyed. I like the whole period, the costumes, and of course your voice.
So hang on, okay. So
I would have enjoyed seeing and hearing you.
So did you always want to be on Broadway? Like, was that your first choice growing up? Did you think, oh my God, I want to be? Because a lot of people do that, and then they do what you're doing, and then they transfer, which we're going to talk about, your movie career. That you're moving into movies and stuff also. But was that like the big dream? Because if it is, you totally accomplished it.
Yeah, early on, it wasn't the big dream. I think early on, I wanted to be Indiana Jones and, go treasure hunting, basically, and be an archaeologist or do something in science. So it was really kind of, I wouldn't say a fluke, but I fell into musical theater, through kind of like my sister's 4 years younger, and she performed, and she kind of roped me into performing with her little song and dance troupe. And that's sort of how I felt like I was, wanting to do this more. And then in high school, I did all the shows, and they put me in, the musicals, and that's where I got the bug. And I had a teacher who said, "You can do this. You should do this." And I said, "Yeah, you know what? This is something I want to do and pursue." So I went to New York University, got my degree, and the rest is history.
Frickin', that's a good school too.
Yeah, well, way back they were auditioning for West Side Story. I remember it was really a publicity thing. They were asking kids in different neighborhoods, "Can you dance?" and audition for West Side Story. It was a good, bullshit story. And I, of course, said, "Yes, I can dance. I could do the mambo, the cha-cha, and the lindy." But I I never got the part.
Okay, so let's go this way then. Okay, so you've already been in all these. We're gonna change the topic to film in a minute, but like, is there a Broadway musical that you haven't been a part of yet that would still be on your bucket list? Like, oh my gosh, if I could play a role, and that I haven't had an opportunity.
Can I ask him one question? Could you be in Aladdin, the movie, so that we Westerners can see you performing in Aladdin? Do you think that's possible?
Well, we'll have to get my agent on that, but the film world is very separate from the musical theater world. It's kind of hard, so it's different. But
but if all our 5 million people watching and hearing this would write in and say, "We want Adam in Aladdin," so
start a petition. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
I mean, the world should.
You have the looks for it.
I'm so sorry that we didn't film the wonderful musicals of years ago.
Yeah,
the great ones, because they're gone. You're never going to get them back.
Yeah.
And living in Palm Springs really sucks because we don't have any kind of theater out here at all. We've got drag queens all over the place, but really, I mean, you've seen one drag queen, you've seen them all. Not fun entertainment. I would love if we had a beautiful big theater in Palm Springs where we could get Broadway stars like you to bring out musicals like Aladdin. It would be such a thrill. But
yeah, well, I'm sure eventually the show will. Well, it's come to LA already, but
you're not in it.
I was in it on the road back in 2018.
Were you in it? Were you in it in LA?
Yes, I was.
So why weren't we notified? Jimmy and I would have covered it. You would have
seen it. Yeah, you would have seen it back then.
And we would have done your press. We would have written about it.
Meh.
Fire your agent and your manager.
Actually, he's got a the publicist who hooked us up, Barry, is the greatest guy ever. Thanks, Barry. I'm sure you're listening.
I don't know about that, Barry. You never called us to tell us he was in town singing.
You didn't know me then. You didn't know me then.
So hold on, let's go back. So what would be a show, like if you could have been in any show that you in, what would be a show that you think, oh my God, I really would have liked to had an opportunity to do this? Because maybe somebody will hear it and they'll cast you.
Sure. I really loved Light in the Piazza when I saw it. And coming from a musical background, I really loved just that, Adam Guettel's classical, very intricate sound, and I thought that would be a really cool role. He's an Italian, Fabrizio Nacarelli.
Absolutely.
That would be fun.
That's one of what's his name? My favorite writers. What the hell? The gay guy. What was his name? The writer who wrote Light in the Piazza. He wrote Streetcar. All those wonderful things. Why can't I think of his name?
I'm not sure. Adam Guettel wrote the music, so I'm not sure which guy.
Oh, you're talking about the musical, not the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I asked him what Broadway play he would want to be in that he hasn't been in.
I didn't know Light in the Piazza was a Broadway play.
Oh, okay.
You see how ignorant we are out here? And I'm a New Yorker, and I used to go to theater at least twice a month. When I lived in New York, a lot of opening nights, which back then I loved. Women wore long dresses and fur stoles, and we wore tuxedos. Mm-hmm. And at the break time out in the lobby, we had champagne, and then we'd go back in. And if you knew the people on stage later, you could go in the back green room and meet them. It was theater. It was delicious. It was beyond belief. Now, Julie Andrews was starring in Victor Victoria on Broadway. We went to see it. And then I couldn't get in the back room because they wouldn't allow it. They wouldn't even send her a note that I wrote. So I went out on the street like the other kids did. And I had to wait for Julie to come out. And she looked at me. She said, "Oh, Ron, darling." She said, "I can't talk to you now." She said, the air. and she had to keep a muff over her face, you know, for her voice.
Sure, yeah.
And she ran in the car, and I felt bad. I felt like, you know, gee whiz, my glory days are over.
Does that happen for you though? Like when you walk out, does everybody standing out there to get your autograph to sign the playbill?
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy meeting people at the stage door, taking pictures. Yeah, because you don't. Yeah, when you're on stage, it's just a sea of black out there, and you don't really know how your work is affecting people. So it's kind of nice to get a little feedback.
Do they let friends go in the green room?
Well, most theaters now don't have green rooms because they're just so old and they've used up all the space. Especially New York houses are tiny. But people will hang out in dressing rooms. A lot of times the dressing rooms, you know.
Right, dressing room.
As a green room.
I remember Unsinkable Molly Brown when Tammy Grimes was doing it. I was going to beauty school at the time, and we used to do the wigs. We used to set the wigs for Lenny Dietz, who combed them out for Hermione and for Tammy. So I went backstage, and they called it the Tombs. And I went down into the Tombs, and there was a baby carriage there. And in the baby carriage was Tammy Grimes' little baby, who I ran into years later in L.A. at the Ivy. And that's my wonderful Mandy, not Potemkin, Amanda, her father was Christopher from The Sound of Music. I'm have brain damage. Christopher.
No, you're talking about Amanda, the one from
Amanda. I love my little Amanda. She's 2 feet tall.
Plummer.
Amanda Plummer, who's Christopher Plummer's daughter and Tammy Grimes' daughter.
Yeah. So hold on. Okay, I want to switch this around now. So now you guys, if you first of all, moving into like a film, but also keeping it real with the whole music thing, Adam has a phenomenal film called Adam Jacobs Behind the Curtain. It's like a one night only performance where he like talks and tells his history and his story. And I watched the trailer for it, and it is fantastic. And he sings all kinds of songs, Broadway songs from all the different shows. One of them was kind of like a Rocky kind of song too. I forgot what, not Rocky like the movie, but like a rock and rolly more of a type of song in the preview. And it's fantastic, you guys. And it's I guess was it directed by Bruce?
He helped produce it. So
produced by Bruce, because Bruce is our next guest, so I'm trying to figure it all out. So it was produced by Bruce, and you guys can go to stonypointentertainment.com, and you can either rent it, buy it, or stream it. And Stony is spelled with an E, so it's STONEY point POINT entertainment.com, and it looks phenomenal. I'm actually going to rent it and watch it while I'm like working. So tell us a little bit about that.
Great, yeah, thanks for bringing that up. So it was a one night only concert that we filmed. I was actually in town doing another project of Bruce's called Last Call in the Doghouse.
We're going to talk about that next.
We'll talk about that. But so while I was there, he said, you should do this show and then we'll tape it. And, you know, I'll pay for it and it'll be like cool promotion for both of us. And I said, okay, cool. And it started out as this little project, which then became something larger and more meaningful to me. It was, you know, all these classic Broadway songs I'm singing, as well as some pop, rock, and R&B, like you mentioned, like some Journey, I put in some Ben Platt, I put in the Hollies, just like, you know, a lot of fun, soft stuff, but related it all to my personal journey as an artist. And it's really kind of an intimate look at how I became a Broadway performer. And just, I go through a lot. I mean, I cover a lot of ground. I talk about, you know, the obstacles that I faced being of mixed ethnicity, for example, you know, and growing up with identity issues like that. And then, you know, playing iconic roles and the pressure of all that. And then relationships in the industry. I cover a lot of ground, and it's a lot of fun. It's entertaining, but I hope that people who watch it will learn a little bit more about me and kind of, you know, get an insight into the industry as well.
How many times a week do you train?
You mean work out?
Your voice.
Oh, I mean, I'm constantly, I have a piano in the other room here, and I'm always tinkering and singing. And
because you have to keep the vocals loose, otherwise you get in trouble.
Yes, that's right. That's right. It's like maintaining a car or something like that.
Now, do you know Bernadette Peters?
I have not worked with her, but I have met her, and she's lovely.
She's a doll. You know, she's Lazara bred. She's Italian from Long Island. And I met her and her sister many times. I know the both of them. And her dad is Lazara Bread Company, the best Italian bread you could get on Long Island. I don't know if they still do it, but if ever you see Bernadette say Ron Russell said, Lazara bread is the best, and she'll crack up laughing.
So you guys, so go back, so get it. It's Adam Jacobs behind the curtain. The poster's beautiful. The trailer's fabulous. So I know the whole thing is going to be magnificent. And it was produced by Bruce. And how do you pronounce Bruce's last name?
Bruce Reisman.
Reisman. Okay, see
Well,
you were right. Okay,
the Jewish is one way, German is another.
So then
Reisman is German, Reisman is Jewish.
So anyway, so then Bruce wrote and directed another film, and it's coming out in 2 weeks. He told me it's coming out in 2 weeks, and it's called Last Call in the Doghouse, and it stars, among others, besides Adam Jacobs, Judy Geeson. Is that how you pronounce her last name? I'm not sure.
Yep.
Geeson, Parker Stevenson, you guys know him. Hardy Boys. I mean, he's like an icon. David Chokachi, Yancey Butler, and from what I heard that you performed the song "One for My Baby, One for the Road" in it.
Wow. I did. I actually played and sang on films. That was the first time ever doing something like that. It's kind of nerve-wracking, but it was good.
I love that. I did that song for 46 years in my show I took all over the road, and I sang that song, and it's a great song, and the audience loves it, especially if you do the little teardrop thing and the sadness, and you really get into it. The audience quiet.
So we should make a distinction here, because when Ron did it, Ron back in the day, he performed as Jane Russell.
The movie
star, who he was very good friends with, as Jane Russell, and had a show that he performed all over the place. But it was like in the 60s, and it was on all straight clubs back in the day, and dinner clubs.
And then I created Have a Heart, which was a foundation for AIDS. And I began working with Elizabeth Taylor Foundation for AIDS Research and Have a Heart. And we raised tons and tons of money for AIDS research. And Jane Russell was a devout Catholic, didn't really approve too much of drag queens. And I said to her, I'm not a drag queen, I'm an actor who portrays you. And just think, Jane, if it wasn't for you, I couldn't be me, and we couldn't get all that money for those who need us. And then she was very happy with it.
That's very cool. But he looked fantastic as it. But he used to perform and sing in his own voice, not like they do today, where they lip sync and stuff. He did it all.
We had a whole show. I had all stars in my show.
That's awesome.
It was a fabulous show.
So hang on, we're gonna go back to this now. So that you guys.
Oh, wait a minute. We were the first ones to play the Copacabana.
Oh,
there
wow.
you go. Yeah. So you guys, the movie's coming out in 2 weeks. It's called Last Call in the Doghouse. You're going to be able to go to stonypointentertainment.com to see it. It's directed by Bruce, and it's got a great cast. And I'm going to read the little summary that I took off of the movie thing so people kind of get an idea. It says, Cheers meets Field of Dreams in this contemporary drama fantasy. David Chokachi from Baywatch, if you guys don't know who he is Dog, the owner of the extraordinary New York dive bar called the Doghouse. Alongside him are his sons, Jess, upcoming star Aaron Foers, and Mo, Adam Jacobs. Their mother, Mary, Yancey Butler, which you guys, she was in the Witchblade movies, right. And brooding playwright Simon Parker Stevenson and he's in the Umbrella Academy now, you guys. But
didn't we have Parker on once?
No, not yet.
We should have him on.
Anyway, but you guys remember him if you're older, like from the Hardy Boys, because he's one of the Hardy Boys. Yeah. They all have special. They all have. They all have, I don't know what they all have special, one could even say biblical powers. And when the three strangers enter the bar at closing time, the special family helps guide them through their troubled past to bring them to spiritual and mental peace. So if you guys go to stonypointentertainment.com, you can actually see the trailer. We don't get to see him sing One for the Money, One for My Baby, and One for the Road, but you do get to see him in the trailer. It looks like a phenomenal movie. Bruce, I think, puts out really great quality movies. And so tell us a little. So was that your first foray into having a big role in a film?
Yes, it was. It's my first time playing a feature, a lead role in a feature film. And Bruce was great to work with. He really kind of, gave us the space to kind of create the characters and bounce ideas off each other. And he was very open to collaboration, which I love. And I'll tell you, my character, I play a young rabbi named Mo, and kind of short for Moses. And I'm adopted into this biblical family, so I kind of have one foot in each world, and I'm struggling with that. And I just love the concept of the film when I read it, and it like the description. It's very Cheers meets. It's kind of like Twilight Zone, Touched by an Angel. A lot of this kind of mixed in there, and I had a lot of fun shooting it. You know, it was a lot of kind of guerrilla style, getting in there and we're jumping time zones and things. And when you see the trailer, you'll see, but or when you see the film, you'll see. And yeah, it was really just a great opportunity to really deep dive into a character and try my acting chops in a new medium, really. So I was excited for that.
I think you're going to be.
Do you know that being a virgin to film and having that director was probably the best thing that ever happened to you? Because he's an old-time director.
Yes.
I make a lot of movies nowadays, okay? And the directors don't direct. I don't know what they do.
And they don't collaborate.
They hide in a room. I remember when I would work in film, I'd say to the director, is my character working? Do you think I'm getting the essence of the character? Or like, that window, should I really jump out of it or crawl out of it? And they would guide you and direct you. Today, you know what they say? I asked for my mark one day. They said, what marks? We don't have marks. I said, you don't have marks? Where's my camera? They said, up on the wall somewhere. I mean, it's like ridiculous. So, I was in a movie by Sidney Lumet, who is good friends with your guy, in 1959 with Sophia Loren and Tab Hunter. And let me tell you, I came into the business with professional people, and everybody did a brilliant job. So you, my friend, are lucky to have worked with this director, because it ain't going to happen no more.
Yeah, it is, because he's going to get big films.
No, even the big directors think. They don't do it. I mean, a director sometimes should tell you, listen, you know your character, you know your lines, now go for it, work it. These people, you don't know if you did good or bad. They say, okay, next scene. I mean, what scene? We shot it once. Yeah. Oh, we don't do retakes. What do you mean we don't do retakes? What if my pants fell down? We'd leave it. I thought, this is bullshit, the movie business today. But anyway, I still keep making films and bitching about it. But you're lucky. You got a good one.
I feel lucky to have worked with Bruce.
Oh, yeah. Learn from him. He's a goodie.
I think, too, though, that I think you're going to be I haven't seen the whole film, obviously, which I will.
No, we're going to watch
when it comes out.
When can we watch it?
It doesn't come out for 2 weeks.
Is it going to be on the big television, the Netflix?
We're going to have to go. I don't know how I have to figure out how you do that. Yes, I'm sure it will be. StonyPointEntertainment.com, you guys, because that way you can also go and see One Night, Adam Jacobs Behind the Curtain. But I think that, number one, I think that you have a lot of experience. I mean, you've been on every TV show. You've performed on every major TV show from Aladdin, that really has opened up so many doors for you. I think that transitioning into the film world is going to not be difficult for you, because number one, let's face it, the smile and the good looks, helps a lot, that you're not unattractive. You're super talented. I think people will see in your first feature film where you're a lead, that you have real acting abilities, because you can tell just from the trailer. And
I can't that's about all that shit. His voice is great. I mean, I heard a cappella, a voice that's incredible.
But he's not going to sing in every movie.
No, I know that. But
maybe he is.
No, he's got a speaking voice. He's got a speaking voice. Jimmy, part of being an actor is having a good voice. If you have a good voice in a movie, people are mesmerized by your voice, and your lines become richer and better. I mean, he could make love to a woman and lower that octave down with candlelight, and all the broads will be throwing their panties at the screen.
Okay, so let's do a hypothetical. So you're really new in the movie thing, but yeah. if you had a bucket list, because I love to ask this question, if you had a bucket list of an actor and an actress that you think, oh my God, I would love to work with this people, who would it be? And then let's say you could have been in any film that's ever been in history, the same way I asked you about the Broadway play.
One at a time.
I know, but that way he can be thinking about it, because they need time to think about it. If you could have been in any movie that's ever been made in history, what movie would you have liked to been in?
Oh man, I don't know. That's a great question. I mean, I would have loved to have worked with somebody like a director like Orson Welles or something like that. But like an actor, somebody like to opposite James Dean or you know, somebody just that quality, that type of caliber of actor would be phenomenal. Of course, people like Leonardo DiCaprio, Al Pacino, that would be amazing to have scenes with those guys, because those guys are just phenomenal actors. Daniel Day-Lewis, you know, somebody just who's a really
phenomenal actor,
and just
Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp.
Yeah, so versatile. You know, people like that are really impressive to me, who can do so many different types of acting and play so many different characters and do it well. And yeah, that's pretty awesome.
I love that.
Who's your female?
Oh, I mean, Sophia Loren. How about that? Or
yeah, yay for Sophia. You know, she's an angel. I got to know her on the set, and she was 26 and I was 19. And I spoke Italian to her, and she said, "You know, your Italian is as bad as my English, but we got along fine." She is absolutely an enchanting woman now. Yeah, I would like to work with her again. I started 70,000 years ago with her. I'd like to end my career with her.
Yeah, he loves her. He loves Sophia.
I love Sophia as a person and as an actress and as one of the greatest beauties in the world.
Yeah.
And you know what? She was beautiful, but she wasn't beautiful acting. She was very, very shy and very, very unassuming. And I told her in Italian, "Ma come sei così bella, bella, bella," and she said, "Oh, thank you," but graciously.
Yes. Yes.
You know, she's a lovely, lovely person.
Yes, it would be lovely to share the screen with her, but to be in a scene with somebody like Glenn Close, you know, that's like.
Yeah, but I could see you playing Sophia's son.
Sure.
in a wonderful Italian style drama.
And Beeve Claudia just purchased
where you're an opera singer.
She just purchased Behind the Curtain. She said she's gonna watch it with her mom.
Well, how come she got it? We can't get it.
She bought it on the site that I told everybody to go to, StonyPointEntertainment.com. She's fabulous. She's just wonderful. So I think that she's always
we
very
don't have
supportive.
a movie lineup for tonight. We watch a movie every night
because there's nothing else we can do. So. Yes, that's
because
right.
There's nothing to do in Palm Springs.
Mail from me.
It's 121.
Oh, Dave Hughes joined us too from
Dave Hughes from England.
He says Al Pacino and Audrey Hepburn for him.
There you go.
You gotta love it. So everybody, this is Adam Jacobs. You can follow him on his social media. It's Adam Jacobs NYC. He's the original Aladdin on Broadway. He's done lots of other things, and he's getting ready to tackle Hollywood with a big bang. He's super talented. That's right. He's super talented. He's super cool.
And you know what, Adam? You're gonna go far. You know why? You're a regular Joe. You're a nice guy.
Thank you.
You don't have your head up your ass, okay? Like most of them do. They think who they are. They act who they are. And you know what? They fall on their faces. Nobody likes them. Nobody wants them. And they're gone. In this business, personality and niceness counts. And you're a very personable, nice guy. Good luck to you, and enjoy those babies and your beautiful wife, and stay healthy. You know,
you too.
And anytime you have anything that you want to promote, let us know, because we'll bring you back.
Absolutely, you're a nice fellow.
We'll bring you back, and I produce a lot of films. I have like 17 films in different stages
who knows?
of development.
You and I may work in a film.
So, so now that I know you and I've met you, and you're not an asshole, like I'm gonna put you on my list of people to push. To see if we can.
You could play my son maybe in a movie.
We could see if we could get you on some stuff that we're doing, because I don't make like really shitty. I make movies in like $1 to $4 million range, basically. Right. I'm not like the really big ones yet, but I'm also not doing the really crappy ones.
And I always play a Brooklyn Mafia guy because of my New York Brooklyn accent, and when I change, I can look like a tough hood.
Sure, I can see that.
So could you. You could look like a mafioso also.
I could do that too.
Yeah, it would be fun.
They love.
And then you could break into a song. You could sing out.
They love you so much in the chat room. They really do. They think you're like fabulous. So everybody, this is Adam. Adam, we want to thank you so much for coming on the show. Everybody, again, follow him on social media. Go to StonyPointEntertainment.com. Look for his brand new film coming out in 2 weeks. Last Call in the Doghouse. And he's fabulous. We want to thank you. Best of luck in everything that you do. You've been super.
Alan, it was a pleasure.
Adam,
I know at my age we get names all screwed up.
Even though it's on the screen.
No, I know, but all the old bags, people call me Rod. I interviewed Cliff Robertson, And throughout the entire interview, he said, well, you know, Rod. And I kept telling him on the breaks, it's not Rod, it's Ron. And then he'd call me Rod again. And, you know, that's Cliff Robertson. He was old.
Anyway, Adam, thank you so much. Congratulations on all your success. And everybody get his album, too.
Yes, yes.
Get his album,
yes.
Right Where I Belong.
He's
and
got
sure
2 kids. He needs money.
That's right.
He's got to save for college.
That's right.
He does. That's right. Hey, thank you so much, Adam. We'll see you soon.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Ciao, Bella.
Did he not have like the greatest smile ever?
He's the greatest guy. He's a sweetie pie, and that voice is not to be believed.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God. He's as good as Howard Keel.
I don't know who that is.
Howard Keel was one of the best singers on Broadway ever in the history of
Hey,
Broadway.
chat room, what did you guys think, though? You like that, right? When he sang that? That's like my favorite song ever. It's like my favorite Broadway song. I didn't even know it was on Broadway, but it's my favorite song from a Disney show, and I love it to death. And so the fact that that's the one he sang made me really happy. Because
that's why he sang it.
I know, I love it.
I would love to see him do some of the old classic Broadway stuff. You know, they should do that. They should bring back, if not the sets, just bring back the opera singers, the singers on the stage singing the beautiful songs of the old Broadway plays and put it in film. I mean, that's a great idea. I think everybody would love to see it being acted out.
Absolutely.
You know,
what a cool guy.
There's some wonderful music that has been written in our country over the last.
Talking about how gorgeous his face was too. What a
he's a beautiful
face.
Man. Yeah, of course he's beautiful.
You gotta love it.
You know,
he got nominated for a Grammy for that Aladdin.
And I'm sure he was good at it because he looked at his voice is beautiful. There's no question about his voice.
And he was on every show. Good Morning America, all the different shows performing.
Sure.
You know, all the big ones. So everybody says that he was a great guest. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed him.
Good guest.
And
I
we liked him a lot.
I did too.
So let's see. So you guys, you can listen to our show. We want to thank everybody for tuning in every week. You can listen to our show on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Prime. We're on a bunch of other ones too, but that's the one that's the most the ones that are the most well known of all of them. And also, if you want to check out Adam's website, it's adamjacobs.net. So it's ADAMJACOBS.net. Oh, whew. Big applause. It was wonderful. Everybody loved it.
Good.
Hey, Astro's joining us. So then what else were we gonna what else
what?
I forgot.
About what? You're brain dead.
I know. I'm brain dead today.
You're getting old, Jimmy. You know, I'm going to have to sort of, tell you what to do soon. Like when I'm like 102, I'm going to have to remind you of things.
We have a bunch of people who joined us too during the chat. Dave Hughes, Alexi.
Dave, no tomatoes on the show today. Sorry, no tits and ass. Watch Dave tune out.
No, he comes in anyway. He said he was Alexi Angelino's in the chat room, so we want to say hi, but Dave wrote something that he logged in somehow wrong, and so he logged in he was listening to some lady talk about weird shit for half an hour. Oh my god, that's hilarious. I think that's really funny. And Angela Joseph, everybody loved him. So you guys, next week we're going to be having a fun show. We're having the cast of Clown Motel 2 come on because that weekend is the Clown Motel 2 premiere. And so Ron's going to be in that film, and we're going to have some of the people come on, so it should be a lot of fun. And Artist Miss Kim came in while we were doing that, so I don't know if we said hi to her. We have a fly, and I don't know how to get rid of it.
I told Joseph Kelly that I'll mention him when I accept my Emmy for Clown Motel 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Dave says, "Oh, brilliant! Clown Motel 2. I can't wait."
Oh, it's better than Gone with the Wind. I mean, it's a major film. I mean, cost millions to make and shot all over the world, and everybody in it is an Oscar winner or an Emmy winner, and it's the greatest film you'll ever see.
That's right. It's going to be fun.
No question about it.
You know what? You got to have fun, and they said that they love. I see Ron smile, Ron, yay!
No, Clown Motel 3. 4, what is it? 7?
2.
2. That's all it is. Only 2. It was fun working on because I play General Milan, a general in the army who gets his men to go out and get the clowns, the killer clowns.
Actually, Artist Miss Kim says she's a UPM on that show on Clown Motel 2.
Oh, okay, so she knows about it. Anyway, it was fun working with everybody. Pat was a sweetie, and I love Dave Bailey so much. He's the bestest.
So, Miss Kim,
of
are you
course,
coming to the
wait,
premiere?
I was working with Angelina Stevenson,
Angie Stevenson and Lorene.
And Lorene and I have a scene in the bar where she's on my lap making out with me, and this son of a bitch kept putting the tongue down my throat as a joke, and we were screwing up. They had to do it over and over and over again. I wonder which one they're going to use, but she said, "I'm going to be so sexy, Ron, I'm going to devour you." So, Dave, sorry, you could have stood in for me.
Okay, don't say. Never mind. 101. I just got to remember. Okay.
Well, Dave Hughes, you could have stood in for me when Lorene was tongue kissing me. She did it as a joke.
It was hilarious.
I love Lorene. Lorene and I are good friends. My sweet Lorene, beautiful Lorene. She's so beautiful.
She is beautiful. She's not going to be at the premiere either, so we'll miss her.
She's going to the other premiere.
No, she's going to autograph sign.
Oh, autograph sign, right? With who else? A couple other people we invited.
Yeah, so Miss Kim's going to be there, so we're going to get to meet her. Yay!
Good. And working with Angie Stevenson, she's really good. She knows her lines. She's a good actress.
She's beautiful
and gorgeous. And we're shooting at a pool table, and I'm a general in the Army, right? I'm not going to look at the pool table. She's standing right next to me with those beautiful boobs, like two rockets in a tight sweater. So I was staring at their boobs while she was delivering her lines. I figured that would make it more natural, right? Wouldn't a guy stare at her boobs, not the table? Anyway, I don't know if they cut that part out.
We'll find out when we go see it. 2 weeks. Yay!
Right.
A lot of people are saying they don't really like clowns, though.
Well, clowns when we were children were gloriously happy things that we loved. Now they've become grotesque killer things that scare children.
I love that.
I invited Sherry Belafonte to the red carpet opening, and she said, "Oh, what's your movie about?" I said, "Killer Clowns." She said, "I'm not going." I said, "Why?" She said, "I'm terrified of clowns." She said, "They give me nightmares. They scare me." And I thought that was terrible. Clowns are supposed to be fun. And poor Sherry Belafonte, she's going to have nightmares from the clowns. Anyway, a lot of people feel that way. They said, "Oh, no, I don't like clown movies. They scare me."
I love them.
They're stupid. They don't scare me. Come on.
I have a big clown in my room that I like. It's an animatronic clown. It's awesome.
How could you be scared by these actors with crappy makeup and junky costumes? They don't even look like clowns. Half of them look like bad people that ate raspberries and blueberries.
People are afraid of clowns from it. And also,
It was a beautiful clown. They made it really scary. But did you see some of these clowns in some of these clown movies? I mean, they don't even look like clowns. They look like, I don't know what.
The ones in your Clown Fear movie.
Which movie
some of them
was
were good. That's the movie you did with Sadie. Some of the clowns look good and some of them didn't.
Nah, some of them were crappy. They must have. It looks like they put a flower on their face and lipstick. They're not clowns. Clowns have to be beautifully made up, scary looking. There was a movie we saw where the clowns were really scary, good looking. I think it was, what's his name, the guy from Chicago that does all those horror films with the pretty wife. What's his name? Harley.
Oh no, they're from Detroit.
I think he did a clown movie where he had an ugly clown. But the clowns have to be scary.
And some movies they are, and some movies they're not.
I don't know. I haven't seen any of the clowns in the movie I'm in. I'll let you know when we go to the premiere.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. We got a bunch of fun people going. Jack O'Halloran's going with us, and Sadie's going with us, and
I can't wait to see Sadie.
Ozzy's going with us. You guys,
I can't wait to see Ozzy. Is Miles back from Alaska?
He might be back.
Oh, good. I want to see Miles.
Miles will be coming with us, and Jennifer Rubin is coming with us, and
is what's her name coming? Who I really like a lot. Jessica.
Oh, I haven't. I'm going to invite her tonight.
You didn't invite Jessica yet?
No.
I love her and her fiance. They're wonderful people.
Yeah, we're going to invite them.
Oh, he's a doll and she's a sweetie pie.
Also,
and she's so sexy, Jessica.
We also have the.
Do you know that when she talks to you, her lips look like they're greasy and ready?
Don't be perverted.
I'm not being perverted, but she has those sort of lips like Jane Mansfield had. Come on, lips. Here, these are my lips. All right, don't you want to kiss them?
We also have.
My dog is kissing me. See.
We also.
Oh, I said lips. My dog. When I want kisses from my dog, I say lips.
Claudia Wells is going to be there. From Back to the Future. I don't know. There's going to be a lot of cool people.
A lot of fun. And then there's an after party, which we're going to go to, where we don't know, we can't even disclose it where it is, but it will be somewhere. And it's going to be a fun evening. Very, very, very fun evening.
I love it. So talk for a minute. Hey, Rebel, come on and tell us what's going on. Bruce may be ready now. Okay, let's try him. Let's see if he's ready.
I'm ready.
Hey!
Ready,
I'm ready.
willing, and able.
I'm ready. I was trying to adjust everything there because, you know, I'm not real good at this stuff. You guys are so effing funny. I was watching.
Well, I'm so glad you think we're so
I was
fucking funny.
I was watching Adam's interview and really enjoyed it. It was the best one yet. I mean, Barry's done an amazing job, I got to tell you. And
yes.
I don't know if to look at you or the camera, so forgive me. The director.
Oh yeah, look at us. Yeah, look
Okay.
at your screen.
Yeah,
look at the screen.
Bruce. We don't do interviews. We do conversation. There's a difference. We never interview and ask those retarded questions like, you know, where were you? That
like
boring shit.
Yes, like Cabot. We don't do that. Okay, so hold on. We gotta do an intro now for you.
Wait, like I say, make believe you're in Brooklyn and you're in my kitchen and we're having Entenmann's plum cake and coffee. And we're Yentas.
Prove it to you.
We're Yentas. We're just talking. What?
Yes.
All right, hold on. He has the Entenmann's. Our dog ate ours yesterday. All right, so hang on.
Don't remind me.
You want me to get the box? I'll prove it to you.
No, you're good. So hang on. Here we go. All right.
Where were you in New York?
Me?
Yeah, where are you?
Oh, I'm in Sherman Oaks, California, where it's a cool 102.
Yeah, right. Sherman Oaks. Yeah. I wish I was there instead of Palm Springs.
Okay, so hang on.
We're 121 or maybe 123 by now.
Yeah, well, I don't get it. And a lot of Jews go there, and I don't get why. I mean, we ran in the desert for so many years. What the fuck are we going back there for? I'm sorry. Am I allowed to say that?
Oh, yes. You could say fuck all you want.
You can say anything you want. So hold on. We got to do an introduction. So it's Reisman, right?
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with RonRussell, the incredibly talented writer, director, producer, Bruce Reisman. Hello and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. What's wrong with my shirt? Does it look like
Nothing.
It's got a weird? Okay.
It looks like it's kind of camouflage, but that's okay. It looks good.
That's a shadow from your chin shadow.
I'll fix it while we're talking.
No, don't worry about fixing it. It looks fine.
You look good.
You look great.
You look good.
All right, so let me introduce you to my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. RonRussell.
Hey, how are you?
Nice to meet you. I'm great.
Nice to meet you too.
And we have a chat room full of people, so say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Who's in the chat room? Would I know any of these people?
Probably not. They're all like fans of the show and friends of ours, so they probably don't know who you are, but they're learning because we talked about you in the hour before.
Okay, and that's nice. Hey, I didn't see all of it.
And I told Adam how lucky he was that he was directed by you, because the directors of today are not the directors of years ago, and we know that.
I have to tell you though, I was lucky to have him in a way because I only hire theater trained actors unless I'm forced to because of name value. You know what I'm saying? And
yes.
Because the myth of theater actors, especially musical theater actors, being too big, for film is total BS. In his case, he stepped on that set like the camera off his life. This guy, I can't say enough about working with him. He's a movie star.
He's very talented.
Yeah, he's very talented
and good looking.
So you guys, the movie that we were talking about before that's coming out in 2 weeks, Last Call in the Doghouse, that's Bruce's film. And we'll probably mention that in a little bit, but you can follow Bruce on Instagram. He's at Broadwood_media. BROADWOOD_media. That's his production company. And to see his films, you go to stonypointentertainment.com. Since we already talked some about Last Call in the Doghouse, I want to talk a little bit about you. First of all, I wrote down that you wrote your very first script at age 12. And it was on Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, the TV show. So at 12 years old, that you were a semi-regular on the Waltons when you were a youngster.
Well, 1976 was the last one.
Yeah, 1976. And then you were a staff writer producer for the TV shows Chips, The Fall Guy, TJ Hooker, Airwolf, Tour of Duty, and The Young Riders, which I actually know all but one of those.
Now he's much younger than
I wasn't staff on The Young Riders. I wrote one episode.
Okay.
Yeah, but Jimmy thought you would be.
It was
Jimmy,
special because I was inducted into the Cowboy Hall of Fame because of it. So that was nice.
That's nice.
But Jimmy thought you were older. Now I realize that you're much younger than I am. You're much younger than I am, because I thought we would know the same people. I'm 81. You got to be what, 60 something?
70. He just said.
Oh, 70. All right, so we're 11 years apart. We probably know some of the same people from old Hollywood.
Well, I think so. I think when I talked to Barry, that's why he wanted us to get together, because the film that I made before this, which is available now, As Long as I'm famous.
Hang on a minute. Bruce, hang on. Why is his sound coming out so bubbly?
I don't know.
Bruce, could maybe you lower the volume on your mic a little?
Yeah. Okay, sure.
Because it's coming out staticky.
How's that?
Lower it more.
Better?
Lower it more.
This is the lowest.
Oh, that's good.
Oh,
now it's clear.
They said his internet is a little patchy.
Yeah, but it was also that the volume was bubbling. Okay, that's good, Bruce. Sorry for the interruption.
No, I'm sorry. But As Long as I'm Famous, which is the film I did about 2 years ago, is all about that period. Takes place in 1947. And the characters are Sidney Lumet, Montgomery Clift, Josh Logan, who was my mentor, and who else? David Chokin, who plays the boxer, Honey.
Hang on. I wrote down stuff so people can see. So you guys, you're the writer and the director, and the film is called As Long as I'm Famous, Real Secrets of the Golden Age. It's an homage to the golden age of Broadway during the summer of 1948. And then I wrote down the summary, which says, inspired by true events, this is a story of private, often forbidden romances of legends from Montgomery Clift to Richard Rogers, told through the perspective of 24-year-old Sidney Lumet.
Oh, Sidney, he directed me in a movie in 1959. A movie with Sophia Loren and Tab Hunter, That Kind of Woman. We shot it on Long Beach, Long Island, and Central Park. Yeah, I was 19 at the time. Sophia was 26. And that's when I first met Tab Hunter, and we became friends forever until Tab passed away. Yeah. Yeah, Sidney Lumet was. He was. What? Go. He was a great director.
He was a great director, and when I lived in New York, back and forth, I was one of those bi-coastal people. It's a very intimate community, as you well know, if you're in show.
I'm a New Yorker. I know, born and raised.
So you'd go into a bar, and Mike Nichols would be in there chatting with Sidney Lumet, and Logan really was the one. In '79, I met him at Albert Haig's house, and I bet you know who he was. He was a composer.
Do you know Albert Hayes?
Who?
Albert Hayes.
No, maybe the name Hayes. Albert Hayes. Maybe.
He also played the music teacher in the original movie Fame.
Oh, okay. I know what that is because
he wrote Redhead with Gwen Verdon.
Okay. I know. I don't know him, but I know of him.
Why is my camera off? It's driving me nuts here.
No, you're fine.
You're fine. You're good.
Okay. Well, if I look at, am I looking at you or there? How's this? Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I'm just not technically good.
No, you're doing good. You look good. Everything is fine.
Thank you. But As Long as I'm Famous, literally, I wrote a little bit of Sidney Lumet had a relationship with Montgomery Clift for 3 months in 1948. And he told me about it. He said, don't write about it until I'm dead. So I did. Waited. And it's a big part of the movie, in our movie. And
well, Sidney had a problem with Sophia Loren and Tab Hunter. Sophia was very against Tab Hunter playing the romantic lead because he was so much younger looking than she. She prefers older men. So when they had a love scene on the railroad train, we had a lot of problem with that because Sophia just couldn't warm up to Tab Hunter no matter what she did. She had to really work hard on kissing him and making believe that she was so in love with him that she traveled the railroad to New York, you know. Anyway, it was difficult. And I know that when she wrote her book, the last book, she didn't mention anything about that kind of woman or Tab Hunter. So I think she still was unhappy with the film, and the fact that I think maybe the fact that he was gay was a little disconcerting to her also, because I think she had just found out that Cary Grant was gay.
That's
So
surprising. Different world now.
that was then. Montgomery Clift was Elizabeth Taylor's dearest and wonderful friend. She spoke very highly of him whenever his name came up in conversation.
And her name comes up. Her name comes up in our movie in conversation between Montgomery Clift and Lumet.
She adored him. She adored Monty.
So we should tell
She
it.
called him Monty, and she adored Monty.
So you guys, the name of the film we're talking about is As Long as I'm Famous. And then the tagline is Real Secrets of the Golden Age. You can go to stonypointentertainment.com to see it. It stars Michael Pare, who's a friend of Ron's.
Oh, Michael. I haven't seen Michael in 30 years. How's he doing?
Hang on. David Chokachi, who's also is also in Last Call in the Doghouse, the other film we spoke about. He plays Gene Tunney. Is that how you pronounce his name? Tunney? Tunney?
Turney.
Oh.
There's Gene Tunney and there's Gene Turney.
He plays Gene Tunney.
Yeah, that's the male. Gene Turney is the female from Laura.
All right. Eric Lutz plays Richard Rogers. And the guy who plays Montgomery Clift, I had never seen before, and he's gorgeous. His name is Gavin Adams. And then Tracy Nelson and Aaron Foers. There's other people too, but those are the names I recognize.
Can I see this movie tonight on my TV?
Yeah. It's on the website.
StonyPointEntertainment.com.
Jimmy does that. I don't know how to do it. We have this television the size of our house.
You go to StonyPointEntertainment.com and just click. It's there.
Okay, I want to see this movie tonight, Jimmy.
Okay.
We'll have this with dinner.
I think you'll enjoy it, Ron.
I will, because it's people I don't know Montgomery Clift, but I know a lot about him from Elizabeth because I knew Elizabeth Taylor pretty well. We both were working for Elizabeth Taylor Foundation for AIDS research for years. And
my casting of that part, the kid who played Gavin, who played Monty, was so much like him that he was almost not monotone, but Monty was very shy in real life, almost introverted. And and the actor that plays him nailed him, And it was his first movie, and he was great.
He looks great in the trailer, and you guys can go to Stony Entertainment.
Their one love scene. Yeah, StonyPointEntertainment.com. But their one love scene in the movie between him and Sue Lumet got 21 million hits on YouTube. And they're just making out.
Well, Montgomery Clift left Elizabeth Taylor's house for a party, and he didn't get halfway down the road when he was drunk and he hit a pole or a tree, whatever. And Elizabeth ran down, and Monty was choking to death in the car, and she actually put her fingers in his mouth and pulled teeth out because his teeth from the steering wheel got knocked down. Monty was never the same. He was in a movie at the time, and they had a lot of problem because the earlier shots he was gorgeous, and then after the accident shots he looked different.
Isn't it Raintree County?
Raintree County, yeah. So Monty Clift was a very tortured homosexual. We know that. I don't think he liked being gay. I think he wanted to be straight, but he couldn't, of course. And he had difficulty living with it, from according to what I got from friends that knew him. He wasn't, I know a lot of gay guys that are, they're gay sexually, but they're not out. And he was one of them. Sad. Right. Very sad. Well, did you bring that? Did you bring that up?
Their story in the movie is very much like that because he really fell in love with Sid. And Sid was dating a blind woman at the time. And the blind woman was actually into threesomes, which is in the movie too as well. And Clift goes along with it. And but Clift actually really fell in love with Sidney Lumet, and Sidney Lumet didn't want it. He wanted, for him it was just, I don't know, but they were lovers. No, it wasn't even sex. It was love, friendship. Because the movie, I don't want to do any spoilers, but it does move ahead for a reunion after his car accident in California. A scene we shot under the Hollywood sign. And it's 8 years later, and they're reunited, and you can see Monty's face is all scarred up in our movie. And but they're both kids in my movie. Monty's 29 in it, and Lumet, I think, is 26, 24. It's a baby.
Yeah, 24.
Well, the funny thing about Giant was 3 gay guys were in that movie: Rock Hudson, Monty Cliff, and James Dean. And people just didn't get it. They wouldn't dare expose it. Rock never exposed his gayness. I mean, I used to see him in a gay bar in Hollywood. Huh? Rock Hudson used to go to the La Vie en Rose, which was a gay bar in West Hollywood. And I would run into him from time to time.
So, hang, go back, though. Go back. What did you say, Bruce? Because you just asked a question.
Was Montgomery Clift was not in Giant, was he? Am I wrong?
Clift in Giant?
No, I think Monty Cliff was in Giant.
I can look it up, but while we're talking, so tell us though.
I think he was.
So
maybe, I might be wrong. No, maybe it was Raintree County. I'm getting them confused.
Yeah. That's where they had to shoot him 2 different ways. His face, it didn't work though. His face was such a mess.
Yeah.
He was never
and he knew it. But you know what? He was brilliant with Olivia de Havilland in The Heiress. I mean, that film I watch over and over again. I adore that film.
You're going to love this movie because he goes back to the actor's studio in our movie and hires Gene Tunney, the boxer, to train him, to toughen him up, because William Wyler didn't think he was tough enough to play that part. So in our movie, David Chokachi plays the boxer Gene Tunney, who's a friend of all of Josh Logan's, which is true. Lumet and Clift spar together, and that's a big centerpiece of our movie. And Clift needed to learn to box to play in The Heiress. And even though he doesn't play a boxer in The Heiress, but Wyler wasn't sure he wanted him because he felt he was not manly enough, tough enough. So
he was very soft spoken and very gentle, and his slight man. He wasn't a big man; he was a slight man. So yeah, but no, he was wonderful in The Heiress because he played it well. He played that devious, money grabbing jerk well, and she was brilliant in it. When she locked that door and he's banging on the door and she goes up the stairs with the candle. What a piece of work that was. I mean, that freaks me out every time I see it. I love it so much. Now
so,
listen, wait. Did Lumet and he have a big age difference?
5 years.
Who?
Lumet and Montgomery Clift.
Only 5 years difference?
Yeah, 5 years.
Oh, okay.
So how did you meet Sidney Lumet?
I met him at a party in 1978, a Christmas party in New York, Albert Haig's house, which was across from the Dakota,
right,
where John Lennon was shot. Now, it was the year that John Lennon was shot. What was the year that John Lennon was shot?
I don't know.
Around that time.
I met Josh at this party, and through my friend of mine, Michael Rupert. You know Michael Rupert? He was in the original March of the Falsettos, Sweet Charity Revival, won the Tony. He was in A Happy Time with Robert Goulet when he was 16 and won a Tony nomination for that.
No.
He's a very good friend. So whenever I go to New York, he'd be my tour guide. And I would meet all these luminaries at these parties. I met Josh, and I was a big fan of his because I snuck onto the set of Camelot when they were shooting that out here. I used to sneak onto all the studios. I was like that guy, that kid. And I had a great mother who just dropped me off and just said, go.
Go
And
play.
I went everything. So I reminded him of that. Of course, he didn't remember me, but we got into a very long friendship. In fact, when he died, Netta reached out to me and said that Josh left me a ring that Marlon Brando gave him when he directed him in Sayonara. So I have a ring that Marlon Brando had and gave to Josh, and Josh gave to me, which is very moving to me. So
You're saying 1980.
Now, for people out there that don't know who Sid is, he was a director in Hollywood that really directed some of the best films that we have today. His direction was, I don't know, it was clear. He clearly directed his stars into letting you know the story without confusion. A lot of directors do a lot of hokey pokey shit, and you don't know what the fuck is going on. A Lumet film was clear to the point. Am I right?
Yeah, he had told me that, and several directors have told me, from the oldest one that I hung around would hang on was William Wyler, and when he was doing Funny Girl, I was on the Columbia set watching them shoot, and then he told me it's most of the movie is casting. Good directing is casting. You get the right people that are trained, they know what they're doing, and just like Spencer Tracy would say to young actors, learn your lines and don't bump into the furniture.
Exactly.
In my opinion, you can't learn to act. I mean, if you listen to me, I could become a viral animal. I don't believe in acting class at all. I think acting class is good for scene study. I don't believe in this Meisner stuff where people sit in front of each other and stick their tongues out for 20 minutes. I think all ridiculous. It's like if you're good, I will not believe for 1 minute that Adam Jacobs ever took a class where he sits in front of somebody and sticks his fucking tongue out for 45 minutes. He was good because he was born with that DNA and then he developed it. And you never know that Aladdin fans will not recognize him in this movie because he was born with the gift to be a natural actor. Just like David Chokachu, who you wouldn't believe is like that because they only know him from Baywatch.
Right.
But he came and did As Long as I'm Famous, and I told him that he had to come rehearse. He didn't even know what the F that meant.
He didn't know what the rehearse meant. That's what Ron says that all the time.
I do not believe in acting school. I do not believe because you want to be an actor, you're going to go learn how to act. You're going to be just another page in another boring book. I was born an actor. My mother was an actress in silent movies. I was born in Hollywood world. I learned my craft through life, and I'm a damn good actor, so they tell me. I mostly play mafia people. I play hoods and tough guys because that's my accent and my persona. I never took a lesson. I never will.
I was the opposite. I wanted to be an actor first, more than anything. I sucked. And I worked all the time. I pulled them. I had a cute little look at the right time in the 70s. I tested for Happy Days. I was on Waltons, like you said. And when I saw myself in dailies, finally, from my last episode of the Waltons with Richard Thomas, he dragged me to watch the dailies, which were on a big screen in those days. It was not on little village nonsense. I looked at myself and I went, I'm done. And that was the last time I ever acted. Never.
Hang on, I want to go back.
You know what? I look at myself on screen and I think, ugh. So I know so many actors and actresses, great actors and actresses. Jane Russell, who was my dearest and best buddy, my sister. Jane would say, oh, she hated herself on screen. She said, sometimes I look like a dyke. She said, too tough. I said, no, you're not. You never look like a dyke. You just look tough. She didn't care for that persona, but they kept pushing that. And Howard Hughes wanted her to be always the tough broad with the sneer. And, she was a gentle Christian woman. She wanted to play parts where she could be motherly.
I was a gentle, insecure Jewish man, and it came across when I was working, and I felt that I was bad. Not on stage. On stage, I was fine. But that camera, it was like that alien that came out of John Hurt's chest.
So hang on, I want to go back. So we were talking about Sidney Lumet, just so people who are listening, some of the films that he did that people will know. I love The Verdict, so I bring that one up. Network, Dog Day Afternoon, Murder on the Orient Express, Serpico. I don't know some of the older ones.
12 Angry Men. 12 Angry Men.
Ron's movie, That Kind of Woman. Yeah, so he was like a huge director. So meeting him was just super cool, and the fact that he told you stories that you were able to turn into a film.
One with him all the time. It was not just once. You know, I mean, when I'd get into New York, I would just, call him. You know, we didn't have cell phones.
I never knew.
Yeah, no cell phones. You're right.
I never knew he was romantically involved with Monty. I never knew that. You know, he kept his life pretty quiet.
But that's what my movie's about. It's about privacy. As long as I'm famous, it's about privacy. Nobody knew and nobody cared. It was an unimportant subject. Who you slept with, who cheated on anybody, everything was private. And in the movie, Josh Logan's wife, Netta Logan, God rest her soul, has an affair with Gene Tunney. True story. While Josh was off doing the road tour of Annie Get Your Gun with Mary Martin. No, it was with Mary Martin. While Ethel Merman was doing it on Broadway, she hooked up with David Chokichi, who plays Gene Tunney. So everything that happens in the movie is accurate. Everything. I mean, I wrote the dialogue, obviously, but those relationships are all absolutely true.
I love it.
Okay, I don't know that that kind of Hollywood history the dead stars would care for, but it is history, it is Hollywood, and people should know it. And I think your film is going to be a good film, and it's going to say a lot, because it's going to show what it shows the straight world is all you women who were in love with Monty Cliff, you were in love with a gay man, so that makes gay men plus.
But the thing was that what I learned from these people is that they didn't justify their morality, or everything was private. That's all. And nobody asked anybody else or cared. Why? Because when people, whether they cheat or experiment or whatever, there's a reason, and it could be temporary, it could be forever. But this was the way of show business. But
hey, listen, everybody, everyone back in those days was bisexual in old Hollywood. If I ran the list off of all the women from Lana Turner to Hedy Lamarr to Rita Hayworth to Marilyn Monroe that all had affairs with women, Joan Crawford, I mean, Spring Byington, who everybody loved, the wonderful mother. They were all dykes.
Oh my God! December Bride was a lesbian.
Yes. Marjorie Main was a lesbian. Greta Garbo, Tallulah Bankhead. I mean, the list of lesbians goes on and on. The list of gay guys goes on and on and on. I mean, Hollywood is tremendously gay, but nobody dared whisper the name of anyone that was. They kept it a secret.
Especially nobody cared. It was uninteresting. At least it was interesting to the people living it, but it wasn't interesting to anybody else. Remember, there was no cell phones. There wasn't TV. There wasn't, it was.
Yeah, you couldn't catch somebody on a video.
No. The only thing they would say is if somebody got gonorrhea, they'd say to pass it around. Don't go to bed with that one. That one gave gonorrhea to this one. And that's the only thing that they talked about was getting gonorrhea. I remember that from a lot of the old stars and stories.
Ron, don't hold back. Just say what's on your mind. Okay.
What did he say?
He said, just say what's on your mind.
Oh, well, if we're going to open the book, let's open the book. I don't do it half-ass. If we're going to talk about gay Hollywood, you got the right one here, because I know all the gay guys. I mean, I dated a few of them in my youth, and I know what gay Hollywood is. It was tremendous. The directors, the producers, the lighting, the camera. I mean, you're always getting your ass grabbed by somebody on a set. There was always somebody sneaking in the dressing room.
The grip was really a metaphor.
What?
The grip was a metaphor.
The grip was a metaphor. Yeah.
No, but you know, you could be dressing in the dressing room. People are sneaking in to look. I mean, it was just poor Clark Gable. I remember somebody told me a story.
Way. No,
not gay. But Clark Gable was being changing in the dressing room, or being fitted in a dressing room, and a bunch of people ran in the dressing room to see him in his underwear. I mean, there was just no privacy. You know, people invaded your privacy.
A great Sidney Lumet story that relates to this. Okay, Sidney Lumet invited me to the first screening of Death Trap,
Okay.
which he did the movie of, with Diane Cannon and Christopher Reeve. You remember that movie?
Yes.
In the movie, Michael Caine is a playwright, and
Yes.
it's in the movie, and what's revealed, spoiler, if people want to see it, close your ears. After Diane Cannon, the wife is killed, okay, it's Christopher Reeve, who plays this young protege, gets up covered with blood, and turns out he's in cahoots with Michael Caine, and he plants right on a kiss, the most gay kiss you could ever see. No one saw it coming, and somebody in the audience yelled out, "Oh no, not Superman 2!"
Well, that film was supposed to have been shot out in the Hamptons on Long Island, among people in the business. A wonderful film. I think it was an early breaker to get people used to the gay scene. It was one of the first. The only thing I resent was most of the movies that back then, the drag queens were murderers and gay people were always punished. We were severely punished for being gay, killed, murdered, chopped up, or whatever. Now we've changed all of that. Now you see gay people as Jamie and I are. We're married 10 years and we're quite normal. We don't run around in high heels and we're not nuts.
And we have 3 dogs and a fence.
And I have 2 daughters that we see weekly, and we just live a normal life. And that's the message I want to go out to get to the world.
I have 2 gay characters in Last Call in the Doghouse, and that's present day. And Adam didn't mention it, which is very classy of him, but in August, we're shooting a follow-up to Last Call in the Doghouse called In Dog We Trust. The investor liked the first one so much that he said, let's do another one. So I wrote another one during COVID. And
who will be the central character of that?
I'm sorry.
Who will be the central character?
It has to be Dog, because the whole premise is the place is called the Doghouse. The owner is David Chokergy. His nickname is Dog. What is dog spelled backwards?
God.
Well, God owns this bar, and his sons are Jesus Christ and Moses. And Parker Stevenson plays Simon. All the characters have taken over the mortal bodies of present day people, but they are the spirits of God, Jesus Christ, Moses, St. Matthew, and they're all the owners of the bar. And when people come into this bar that's like Brigadoon, it only arrives where it's needed. It comes in, and characters that are at the end of their rope, literally, get the ultimate intervention to deal with their shit. And when they leave, they're cured, and then the bar disappears.
I love it. It's a very cool idea.
It's a good concept. Let's see if people don't get offended by it, because a lot of born again. I have a born again Christian sister, and I don't think she'd approve of that. She believes that the Lord should be kept as the Lord, never made money on or in a film. She didn't even like the movies that showed Jesus Christ. All the born agains were against it. They said you cannot use the Lord to make $1. And I thought, for God's sakes, if they haven't used Jesus Christ to make money, everybody be
Oh,
broke.
that's my angel. That's my angel.
I
there
mean,
for
yeah,
years.
Jesus Christ has made more money for people than anyone on the planet.
I think this movie is going to be awesome. The people in the chat
I
room
do.
like,
I
love it.
do also, because I'm not religious, and I will look at it for its artistic value. Absolutely, it's a great
It's
concept.
not even revealed. It's not even revealed. It's very subtle. It gets picked. You don't know at the beginning.
Right.
But
Right.
the audience starts to pick up, why are these special people here? You know what I'm saying? They make little references.
Yeah, no, I think it's brilliant. Brilliant.
I just gave
Yeah, I
away
think
the
it's
concept. You know,
I also think you put together a really good cast of recognizable faces that everybody knows, because everybody knows David Chokachi, and everybody knows Parker Stevenson, and lots of people know who Yancey Butler is. And I think Adam is up and coming, and he's got his own following, you know, in the whole Broadway musical world that brings a whole new audience.
And we have to get away from the boring shit that they keep doing over and over and over again. It's all the same crappy story. You know that. At least we have a new concept here.
Well, what I'm doing, I hope that we do 4 of them. The next one is going to be a Western, where the bar lands on the border of North and South. And
cool.
And it's the only place where the enemies can come in and have a drink and not want to kill each other.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So that, and then the 4th one is going to be a musical.
Oh, then we get to hear Adam sing.
Yes.
Good. That I look forward to.
You get to hear him sing in this one too, though.
Oh yeah.
He sings one for my baby.
Oh right,
you know,
right.
Let me tell you something. As much as it's an interesting story how we cast Adam. You want to hear it?
Yes, tell us.
Okay. When we went into breakdowns, my casting director said, how do you want me to describe Mo? The character of Mo. I said, well, I'd like an Adam Jacobs Aladdin type. And she said, well, why don't we just go after him? I said, well, what I know about him, never met him. I'd seen Aladdin, I saw it in New York and in LA, never met him. And I said, good luck. You know what I'm saying? Turned out my casting director was very aggressive. And to make a long story short, this idea came out on a Friday. She got the script to his agent Friday night. He read it Saturday and Sunday. On Monday, we talked. The deal was signed on Tuesday.
There you go.
That's how it should always be.
He just loved it. And he and I clicked. And when he came out here, that's when I decided to came up with the idea for the docu-concert. Because I used to go to Feinstein's a lot out here and in New York. And they were always the same shit. Everybody's singing the same stuff. But let's do one where let's get to know the performer. And when you watch it, it's not shot like a concert. It's intercut with him on camera talking about his family. He's half Filipino, half Jewish. I mean, he's got a fascinating family history and how his grandfather came to this country. And I mean, he's too humble. I mean, what people will see in this concert, aside from seeing his talent, as a performer, is to see this man that they can relate to, an immigrant, a child of an immigrant. You know what I mean? And
absolutely.
I think that's what's most interesting about having worked with Adam and continuing to work with him, is because all that is baked into who he is. He doesn't discuss that stuff. Like on set, he was quiet, pretty much, very, very vulnerable, But
so hold on, let me tell everybody. Let me go back to that. Let me go back. So you guys, because we looped our guests, and they both worked on a lot of the same things. So Adam Jacobs Behind the Curtain is what he's talking about, and that's where his one night only performance, where he talks about his life and his ups and downs and mixes it with music. And you can go for all of these things. You can go to stonypointentertainment.com, but you got to know that Stony is spelt with an E. So it's STONEY StonyPointEntertainment.com, and then you can actually either rent, buy, or stream Adam Jacobs Behind the Curtain. You can also get As Long As I'm Famous, which is the real secrets of the golden age, where we were talking about the homage to the golden age of Broadway during the summer of 1948 with Montgomery Clift. And then in two weeks, right? You told me 2 weeks.
Yeah, but you can pre-order it now.
You can pre-order it now. Yeah, I know. B. Claudia already ordered it. And so she said you can
20% discount if you pre-order.
There you go. 20% discount if you pre-order, you guys. Last Call in the Doghouse. That's the movie with Parker Stevenson, David Chokachi, Yancey Butler, and Adam Jacobs. And that's the one we were talking about before. So he's got Bruce has 3 films.
One more time and tell me to shut up if it's an interesting story. He plays a rabbi, right? But
he plays a rabbi.
Mo, who's a young rabbi. But the people that are having problems do flashbacks as to what their problems are. So in this case, Judy Geeson, who was into Sir with Love, she was the young blonde girl. Now she's in her 70s. She plays a Holocaust survivor who was a child. And as in our story, she's not dealing with what happened to her, and she wants to die. And so she relives being chased by the Nazis through the woods in Poland in 1938. And Adam plays her father. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's like a rep company. And he's got this, the Jewish star on him. And David Chokachi's daughter plays his daughter, and they're being chased. And he gets shot. And my point is, he understood how to play that part without me telling him, because he was born, his father was Jewish. He has that in his DNA. That's why I say everything's baked in. You shouldn't be able to tell. You shouldn't have to tell an actor how to act, right?
No, absolutely. I mean, now wait a minute. I'm a little confused. This is taking place in 1948.
What?
No. That's the gay movie. That's the movie. I mean,
okay. Because I was going to say, the war was over in.
That's 40. As Long As I'm Famous takes place in 1948.
Right. Yeah, I know. I was going to say because the war was over in 45.
No. This is Last Call in the Doghouse.
Yeah, my mistake.
Last Call in the Doghouse is got the people that are having the intervention in the bar. They have flashbacks. And we see the story of what motivated their pain of today. And Judy
can I tell you?
Yes?
Let me tell you a story that you're going to use.
You got like 2 minutes.
A friend of mine in Florida is an elderly man who suffered from the Nazis in Nazi Germany. He sleeps in the bed with rails, like children rails. And when I went in the room to look, I said to him, "Why do you have rails on your bed?" He said, "Because I have nightmares still that the Nazis are chasing me and I fall out of bed and hurt myself." So that's a wonderful story. And I started to cry when he told me that. I started to cry.
You can see it in the trailer, Adam being chased with a little girl. And you can see the Nazi with a rifle shooting them.
Horrible.
I look forward to it. So everybody listen up. You can go to StonyPointEntertainment.com. You can pre-order Last Call in the Doghouse. As Long As I'm Famous and Adam Jacobs Behind the Curtain are both available right now. You can go there to listen to it. Follow Bruce on Instagram. He's at Broadwood_media. And we want to thank Barry Rogers, publicist, for introducing us to both you and Adam to get us on the show.
He and I become great friends.
So, Barry, thank you so much. And we want to thank you for coming on the show, sharing everything. We look forward to watching the films.
Tonight, we're going to watch your movie.
I'm so honored that you guys wanted to talk to me. I was a little nervous.
Get out of here, nervous and honored, please. We're just regular guys like you. No big deal.
In general, it's like I don't like talking about myself, even though you think I do. But
no, listen, you're here to talk about yourself. What are we going to talk about? Your sister's ass?
Adam, let's talk about Adam. Let's talk about Adam. Let's talk about David Chokachi.
No, we did Adam already. The first half we did Adam. This is your half.
David Chokichi still surfs almost every day. He emerges out of the ocean in As Long as I'm Famous.
Actually,
And
hold
he
on.
Almost
we-
exactly like he did in
Because
Baywatch.
we have to go because we're out of time. But Bruce is coming to Clown Motel too. I invited him to
Oh
your
my
premiere.
God! To that wonderful
And,
Academy Award-winning
and we're gonna see if we can get David Chokichi to come too.
Get ready for an evening.
Barry,
Get
Barry's
ready.
bringing us all. Barry's
Yes,
bringing us all.
Barry's bringing us all. So Bruce, thank you so much. Barry, thank you.
Thank
Everybody
you,
in the
guys.
chat room, thank you. Bye, everybody.
thank you.
See you soon. See you guys next week.
You were very informative, and I love what you wrote and did and filmed.
And I learned more from you, which is amazing. You're
We're
great.
gonna
All
watch
right, you
it.
guys.
Well, listen, I'll let you know when I see you what I thought of your film.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks,
Bye
chat
now.
room. Thanks, everybody. Bye, Bruce.
Bye
Thanks,
now.
Adam.